Snowpiercer is one of the hottest new shows on TNT. After premiering in May of 2020, the show found millions of fans who can't wait to see what's next for their favorite characters and actors. However, even if you've seen every episode of the show, there's probably a lot about the real-world actors that you don't know. Today, we will be taking a closer look at some of the actors who have brought our newfound favorite characters to life. Before we get started, be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos. Jennifer Connelly.
Wilford Industries wishes you good morning.
Jennifer Lynn Connelly was born December 12, 1970, and is an American actress. Before she became an actress in film, she appeared in newspapers, television, and magazine advertising. She found her first big role in 1984 when she starred in Once Upon a Time in America. Connelly was born in Cairo in New York's Catskill Mountains. She is the daughter of an antique dealer and a clothing manufacturer, and graduated from high school after studying English literature at Yale University. Connelly described herself as a diligent student who was not concerned about having a social life, sleeping, or eating much. She was a nerdy student who essentially stayed in Yale's law school library. She then transferred to Stanford University to study drama. She studied with Roy London and Howard Fine and Harold Guskin. Jennifer spoke with La Officielle and gave some details about what drives her as an actress. She said, "Over the years, I've listened to various albums by Radiohead while working on movies, different albums depending on the project. I often return to the books of Virginia Woolf. I find interesting things there for building my characters. But what feeds me the most are the streets of New York. They're unpredictable." Daveed Diggs.
Alright, two things first. I don't give a shit who you are.
Daveed Diggs is obviously an American actor, but you may not have known that he is also a well-known singer, rapper, screenwriter, and producer. In fact, he is one of the lead vocalists for a rap group known as Clipping. Daveed was born in Oakland, California, and from a young age was destined for success. He comes from a Jewish family, and his name came from the Hebrew version of the name David. His parents say that they chose to spell his name with the two E's simply because it looked cool. When he got older, Daveed attended both Berkeley High School and Brown University. He graduated in 2004 with a bachelor's degree in theater arts and was later recruited to a track team, breaking the school's 110-meter hurdle record after joining. His life didn't take off as quickly as he planned, so he became a substitute teacher before later becoming an actor in many theater productions. He began acting on Broadway in the 2010s and gave his final theater performance in 2016. Daveed spoke with The Guardian about what it's like growing up as an African American in the United States and said, "I got pulled over the first time 5 days after I got my driver's license. I was 16. My car was surrounded by 4 police cars, one of them walking up to the door with his hand on his gun because I had forgotten to turn my lights on and I was driving at night." A few years later, he would have a face-off with officers again, adding, "2 days before I left LA to move to New York to work on Hamilton, I got pulled off of my bike and thrown up against a fence by police officers who thought I fitted a description. These events keep happening. It doesn't change, and so you live with it." Mickey Sumner.
The strange last chance.
Mickey Sumner was born on January 19, 1984 in London. She has been an actress since the early 2000s, but has only found mainstream success more recently. She is the daughter of actress Trudy Styler and musician Sting. She tries to keep her personal life fairly private, but she began acting around 2006 when she began appearing in several short films. By 2011, she landed a major role in the Showtime series The Borgias. She would continue to land roles like this until finally landing what is likely her most popular role to date in 2020, taking on the role of Bess Hill in Snowpiercer. She spoke with Brief Take about her role in Snowpiercer and how strange it was for the series to begin airing in the midst of worldwide quarantine orders. She said, "I think that it's an incredible, bizarre, wild time for this show to be airing because the show has taken a long time to come together. And to be finally aired, and the fact that it's airing right now, while everyone's in quarantine because of a pandemic, it's just too big for my brain to get around. You know, I've had people for like 3 years being like, well, when's this show coming out? And I always said, oh, the world's going to end before this show comes out. And the world didn't end, but it's definitely different. And I hope people are entertained by this show, but I also hope that they are challenged by it to really think about the way that we live and the way that we treat each other and the way we want to move forward as a society. Alison Wright.
Do you think I want to be here? Hey?
Alison Wright may not have the recognition that some of her co-stars do, but she is by no means new to the world of acting. Alison was born in July of 1976 and is most well known for her role in the FX series The Americans. In fact, she was nominated for an Emmy back in 2017. She was born and raised in Sutherland Tyne and Ware and was raised by adoptive parents. She started dancing when she was very young and eventually attended school to major in theater. She moved to New York City around this time and had to take a job waiting tables while she continued to audition for various roles. She appeared in a few productions in the late 2000s, including The Nanny Diaries, Rafta Rafta, and Marie and Bruce. She is now taking on the role of Ruth Wardell in Snowpiercer and has even landed a role in the Netflix miniseries Hollywood. Alison talked about her role in Snowpiercer and praised the show for being so original and for the many secrets that the characters hold close to their chest. She said, "Yeah, there are a lot of people to meet on the train. There are a lot of different characters and everyone has their own story with different circumstances. A television show is a great format for this story because there's so much more to discover in all of these different cars, which will give it plenty of longevity. There's also something really interesting about getting to recreate yourself and reinvent yourself when the whole world has ended. You're in this new place, so who do you decide to tell people that you are? You've got a choice. You don't have to be who you were." With all this in mind, we haven't heard too many details about when Snowpiercer Season 3 will be released. We know that the studio is hard at work putting all the pieces together, but we don't have a release date just yet. What's pretty crazy is that TNT renewed the show for a third season before the second season had even premiered. Clearly, TNT has a lot of faith in the series and plans on keeping it running for many years to come. As it stands, we will just have to wait and see what the future holds for the next few seasons of the show. If the last 2 years are anything to go by, I think we can honestly assume that Season 3 will be released sometime in the early months of 2022. I'm sure filming a show like this will take quite a long time, especially since it is filmed on a real train. Nevertheless, I can't stress enough how excited I am for Season 3 to finally premiere. 2022 may seem like a long way away, but it's just around the corner and I cannot wait. Thanks for watching. Be sure to hit that like button and ring the notification bell for more videos.